YouTube. Hello, Facebook. How are you? Welcome back to my bedroom. I was just saying to our friends on Instagram that I'm going to be joined by a fab female founder today. We're going to be talking about menopausal skin, dry skin, sensitivities, hot flushes, inflammation, skin particularly that might have suffered after illness or convalescing. You know, you can really see it in your face, can't you? You can really see it takes a toll for all sorts of reasons. Hi there, Lydia. Hi, Ches. Nice to see everybody. Lots of waves and hearts. I'm just going to straighten this up slightly. So before I crack on and actually invite Sarah, I just wanted to point out these beautiful flowers behind me, which have really just brightened my day. Aren't they spectacular? If I bring them over here. Maybe I daren't move them because they're on my bedside table. But they are from the Real Flower Company, and they sent them to me. Roseby sent them because I do have, actually I'm going to show them because I think they deserve a close-up. There is a bright pink sweet pea amongst them, which is known, its nickname really is the Wellbeing, or the Earle Wellbeing sweet pea. If I just balance it on my knee, I'll find one to show you because it is our beautiful Wellbeing pink. Anyway, Roseby Morton from the Real Flower Company, she sent these to me, saying these are the last of the sweet peas. She's so clever because she breeds them with long stems so that when you get them, you get a long, long sweet pea. The last of the sweet peas, but the first of the roses. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And she has given us a Liz Loves. So we love you, Roseby. Thank you. The smell is heavenly. What I love about the Real Flower Company is that they grow flowers in the UK, in Hampshire, not only for what they look like, but also for how they smell. Traditional roses that actually smell of something. You know, shop-bought roses don't smell, do they? So anyway, just to say, also big news from them, they now deliver 7 days a week. Don't know quite how they've managed that, but there we are. And Liz Loves gets you 10% off all orders. And I have to say that the fresh from the farm box is a big hit with me. That's £30. You get everything that comes fresh from the farm. But if you use your Liz Loves, you do get a discount. So great. Thank you, Roseby. Love that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, they're stunning, aren't they? Hi, Tricia. Hi, Louise. Yeah, so lovely. Just love. I love this time of year. I love the fact that I can go out into the garden and just pick a few blooms and even just little tiny things that you can cut down really small and just have on little bud vases on the table. I think it just makes such a difference. Always try and have flowers in my house, always. Or even just foliage, you know, in the wintertime, just a little bit of greenery. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I'm sorry, my hair is a bit wet. I did try, because I knew I was doing a beauty special today, so I thought, well, I better get my act together for my skin and my face. So I have used this, and I am so impressed. Anybody else been using the Persian Reed? It's called Wonder Overnight Recovery Mask, and my hair, because it's got quite a lot of bleach in it, obviously, all my highlights and lowlights, does get very dry, and honestly, it's so soft. I love it. I love the name of it. It's called I Need a Hero Wonder Overnight Recovery Mask. Highly recommend it. Didn't have time to actually blow dry my hair, but it's my hair is nice and soft and feels very strong. And we do still have 20% off Percy & Reed. Yes, if you haven't yet checked them out, percyandreed.com. What I like about Percy & Reed is not only are they great products, and my great friend Jenny, who I've done lives with here, she works with them. And she used to work with me at Liz Earle Beauty, actually, back in the day when I was still connected. But they do everything in little mini sizes. So if you're thinking about travelling off for the summer, or maybe you've got a break coming up, weekend break or longer holiday, everything they do in their fantastic range, you can get in really good size travel minis, which is just so helpful, isn't it? Because otherwise you're lugging great big bottles and, you know, even things like small things of mousse and all of that. It's really good. Okay, hi, nice to see you from K18. I don't know that. More things I shall have to investigate. Anyway, I digress because the subject for today is skin, in particular skin sensitivity, and I'm going to be talking to a fab female founder. Sarah, I think you're here, hopefully. Oh, who's doing their laundry? I like doing laundry. I was actually going to do a post on my Instagram about how much I love doing laundry. Am I weird? Anybody else like
Hi,
doing
Liz.
laundry? Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh my goodness, your skin, you are glowing. I wish everybody on Facebook, they're going to have to go and have a look at your Instagram to see how you are glowing. Your skin, it looks amazing. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because you're a skin guru.
Yes, skincare is my best friend in this hot weather. I think there's a bit of a warm glow today as well in this heat.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm slightly glowing here, slightly glowing. But tell me about your journey. I was so interested to hear about it because you came into skincare in a slightly different way, didn't you?
Yeah, well, my background, I mean, I suppose a slight veteran in that I've been in the industry for about 15 years. So I entered the industry straight after university and always knew, I think, I was one of those children at the age of sort of 7, 8, 9, where birthday parties in the garden would be playing with mum's makeup and loved beauty products.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually studied languages at university and then went into the industry and worked for some of the big conglomerates. So your Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, Unilever, and I was working across skincare brands, hair care brands. So I had a real 360 view of the industry.
Great. Yeah.
But the turning point for me came from a very personal place. And my younger sister, Lauren, who's also today my co-founder at Sarah London, she was diagnosed completely out of the blue at the age of just 23 with a really aggressive form of blood cancer.
Oh, gosh,
and it was a leukemia. And she, as I say, she was someone that was very fit, very healthy. There was no history of this type of cancer in our family. So it absolutely changed our worlds overnight.
I'm sure.
And Lauren was admitted into hospital straight away and she began chemotherapy straight away. So it was a real sudden shift.
Wow.
And due to the very nature of her cancer treatment, she went through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, total body irradiation. But she then had a stem cell transplant with me as the donor.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
we really went through that journey very closely together as sisters. Yeah. But her skin, as a consequence of all that treatment, which really was about 2 years of being in the hospital, just absolutely ravaged her skin. Yeah. So if you can imagine a 23-year-old with soft, bouncy, plump, happy, healthy skin suddenly became very dry, very sore, very sensitive.
Yeah.
And Lauren just couldn't tolerate very many skincare ranges. So it was really seeing firsthand Lauren's skin change, and she was so uncomfortable. And I can remember I had bought her a natural skincare line thinking that it will help comfort her skin. And she instantly broke out in a red sore rash. Yeah. And we later identified it was essential oils that were particularly irritating for Lauren.
Do you know, this is so interesting because I'm a big fan of essential oils. I've worked with them obviously for, decades. But they are very sensitizing. Just because it's natural doesn't mean to say that it's necessarily safe for sensitive skin.
Yes. And I think because natural skincare today is so fantastic, it's come a long way since Lauren's diagnosis was 10 years ago now. But it was seeing how Lauren's skin could change and that there was very limited options for her at the time. Typically within the clinical environment, they would typically recommend a steroid-based cream, which of course is just not sustainable. You just can't use that over the long term.
You can't, no. So fine in the short term, and certainly, I sometimes say for people with bad eczema, use a little bit of steroid cream to get it under control and then move on.
Yes.
I'm just going to read you a quick comment here. Lulu Bell has said on Instagram, I love this range. Since cancer treatment, I've used nothing else. So there's obviously you've got some fans out there. And I should just say that you have generously given us 20% off everything using Liz Love. So I'll just throw that out there because I know a lot of people are going to want to rush to your website and have a look. Another comment here from Joe says, I've just bought some of this range for my friend who's going through chemo at the moment.
Thank you very much.
So getting back to your story, so your poor sister is here with ravaged skin, you buy her something, it doesn't work, the essential oils make it worse. So what's your next step?
So it's exactly that. What happens is where do we go from here? So you've got a steroid-based cream as one option and then conventional skincare that you just can't use. So really, it all began at the kitchen table, and it was me at weekends and in the evenings immersing myself in formulation and really starting to understand skincare ingredients, how our skin reacts to different ingredients of the skin, the composition of the skin, and even with the insight I had within the industry, I knew that the options for particularly sensitive skin were still very limited. And, you know, a lot of sensitive skin types just can't tolerate a lot of ingredients that are in mainstream skincare. So it was really because there really wasn't anything that Lauren could use and that her skin could tolerate that led me to formulate some of our very first blends, which many years later would become the Full by Sarah London collection. But what originally started as me looking for ways to help my sister. That was really what it was all about, is how can I...
But that is the way the best brands start. You know, the best brands, in my opinion, and I've had this with so many founders who've been on here talking about their entrepreneurial journey, is through that authenticity, through obviously sometimes having a crisis, sometimes having a problem, sometimes having a eureka moment of, you know, realising there's a gap. And you know, it's not created, I don't think, by, you know, a group of, you know, marketing people sitting around a table talking about profit margins. It really, you know, it comes from the heart, and that's why I love talking to founders like you who are doing something that's so authentic and so real. So how did you start then? I mean, obviously you'd worked for, you know, people like Estée Lauder and L'Oreal, so you knew a bit about the industry, but there's, you know, one thing to go from that to then actually creating blends and understanding what the skin needs.
Yes, well, it was a lot of, initially a lot of self-study, a lot of research papers, anything I could get my hands on, and being in the industry, having access to NPD formulators and understanding the manufacturing process, supply chain, and then doing some courses as well to really enhance my knowledge. But it was a lot of iterations of different types of formulas at the kitchen table in those very, very, very early days of really seeing if I was to replace something that's typically synthetically derived with something that's naturally derived, how would Lauren's skin respond?
Gosh, so she was like the ultimate guinea pig.
And she still is today. She really is. But it was really about looking for an alternative to the typically synthetically derived skincare that can be irritating for sensitive skin, and offering a solution. And for many of our customers today, they will typically have sensitive skin, which can comprise many different skin types. You might be post an illness, you might be menopausal, you might just be going through a period of eczema. So it can be quite varied in how sensitive skin can be defined. But ultimately, at the core, is looking for skincare that's actually going to work with the skin, that's actually going to support the skin health, rather than looking for a quick fix or a short-term solution that actually could be more detrimental in the long term.
Well, I always think that if skincare can work on really troubled, sensitive skin and work so well, think how much better it can actually do on skin that is, quote, you know, normal or untroubled. Absolutely. Lovely comment here. Lady says, I love your brand. I've used most of the line. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a very rare liver disease and my skin couldn't cope with fragrance at all. So presumably that everything you have is fragrance free?
Yes, that's right. So we're pretty unique as a natural skincare brand in that the full collection is formulated without fragrance and there are no essential oils. So if you have a tendency to react to essential oils, which sometimes can be quite hidden within a formula and not easy to identify, but we also put a full ingredient list on the front label. And it's another way of offering that transparency and giving you that reassurance that you know exactly what's going on your skin.
So this is something that I've been trying and I really love it, actually. It's really simple. It's oat to milk cleanser. Oil to milk cleanser. How does this actually work? Because this is like an oil, but then when you put water with it, it goes all lovely and milky and takes all your makeup off. It's great.
Yeah, and you know, cleansers are not easy to formulate because some cleansers can be very stripping, they can be very drying. So I wanted a cleanser that would be beautiful for sensitive skin, but actually do its job of whisking everything away. So you would pour a little bit into the palm of your hands, go straight over your neck, straight over at the face, over it. So if you're wearing makeup, sunscreen, massage that oil into the skin, and then when you splash your face with some warm water, it's going to transform into a cleansing milk, and that way it's dissolving what's known as sort of the oil soluble and the water soluble debris on the skin. So it's going to get rid of all your makeup, your sunscreen, any excess oil or sweat. It's whisking everything away. But what's lovely, because you've got those beautiful plant oils, it's clumping goodness back into the skin. So it doesn't leave your skin feeling dry or tight or itchy. And also using a product around the eye area, I think is, you know, particularly important for sensitive skin. A lot can sting. What's great with the balancer, so this balancer cleanser here, is you can use that around the face and around the eye area, and it won't sting and it won't leave a greasy residue. So it's a fantastic all-in-one because you don't have to worry about a separate eye makeup remover.
No, exactly.
Or water.
It's lovely first thing in the morning. I've been using it actually because I was obviously trialling it all before meeting you. Using it when I get up in the morning. Yeah. And you know how sometimes, particularly at the moment, now the weather's getting a bit hotter, you know, you can wake up all a bit kind of hot and sweaty after hopefully a good night's sleep, and then, you know, jump in the shower. And it's just such a great way to gently clean the skin, and your skin doesn't feel stripped. And obviously, you know, my skin is quite a lot older than yours and menopausal skin. So it's important not to disrupt it. And I know a lot of my audience here is very similar. And talking about rosacea here, Sleeper Moth says lovely ingredients which are so gentle on rosacea. That's obviously a big issue for so many people, isn't it? Particularly later perimenopausal or menopausal rosacea.
That's right, rosacea, even sort of, you know, acne rosacea, blemish prone skin, and it can be during that time of the menopause in particular where we see those skin changes. And I speak to many customers who will say, I've had fantastic skin all my life, and now all of a sudden my skin has changed. And of course, the hormonal fluctuations internally are leading to those changes in the skin. We're seeing a drop in estrogen. In fact, I think it's within the first 3 years of the menopause, you'll experience a 25% reduction in collagen. And collagen, as we know, is that building block, the scaffolding.
We need our collagen. Oh my goodness.
So what we need is, you know, ingredients that are going to help hydrate the skin, because what's happening when we're losing that collagen production, it's not working as efficiently. Collagen is a bit like a humectant. It's helping to keep moisture in the skin. So if we're lacking that moisture, we need to replenish it. And again, it's looking for skincare that has formulas that work to maintain that cell moisture rather than stripping the skin and the skin's having to work in double time to try and counter that. And that's where we love at By Sarah London beautiful plant oils, because they're clever plant compounds.
Plants are clever things
that work with the skin.
Couple of questions for you. People asking about your website. Where do they go to have a look at it straight away? They're obviously too impatient.
So if you go to bysaralondon.com and shop all, you'll see all the products listed there, and then we've got some bundles if you're looking for multiple products to buy together as part of a routine. You'll see that on the website as well. And I should say that the fall collection is certified cruelty-free. We are registered with the Vegan Society, and we are also a B Corp, which is
tell us about that. What is that?
So B Corp means that we are meeting the highest standards in environmental and social responsibility. Brilliant. So
well done.
Is a relatively new industry body that regulates brands across all different types of sectors and industries, and it's looking at your legal commitment as a business to really ensuring that you're looking beyond profit and you're thinking about people and planet. So it was about a year in a very, very rigorous assessment for us as a business. and they look at everything, and they're looking at supply chain, and we're delighted to say now that we are a certified B Corp, which means that when you're looking for different brands, perhaps beauty brands or skincare brands, you know with by Sarah London that we are meeting the highest, that it really is the highest accolade.
How many, I mean, how easy, I mean, obviously it's not particularly easy to become a B Corp. Is it something that's increasingly common in beauty brands?
I think it's going to become more, I think we'll see it more.
But you're leading the way here, are you? You're one of the first.
We're one of just a handful in the UK.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
What a great way to start. Can I also ask you, I'm being asked here about children with eczema. Would you recommend that would be helpful?
Yes. I mean, something like our lip and hand balm, which is this product here. It's 100% organic. Really, really beautiful balm. You can see I'm already working my way through mine there.
Like a little pot. I'll show it for those who...
You've got a little pot there.
Nice. And so what's in that, for example?
So you've got organic virgin coconut oil, organic apricot, organic beeswax. So essentially, it's your alternative to some of the... your equivalent might be something like a Vaseline, which is terrible for the skin, full of mineral oil. So this is a much better option at helping to provide a barrier on the skin, so that if skin like eczema is struggling with a compromised skin barrier, so it's not able to retain moisture, just helping to apply a product like the lip and hand balm forms this gentle barrier on the skin so that it can retain moisture better. That's what it's really all about. But also working with the skin to ensure that when we're exposed to environmental allergens around us, things like pollution or dust or pollen, that gentle barrier on the skin is helping to fend off those different allergens in the environment.
Got more fans here on Instagram. Osteopathy and Wellness says, love by Sarah London.
Thank you.
Do you send overseas? Is a question that we're being asked.
We do. Very exciting question, actually. We are about to resume shipping to the EU, which is fantastic, and yes, worldwide too.
Oh, fantastic. So let's talk about, so this, to start with, the oil to milk cleanser, which we've talked about. What are the oils in here? What have you used?
So again, we've got everything on the front label, so you know. So
you've got olive squalene, which I really like. That's such an amazing ingredient, isn't it? It's the sort of the olive. Is it the ester from the olive oil, which gives it that little bit of I get a kind of slip. It's a really good. It's a good ingredient on the skin. Squalane, I think, originally came from Wales, didn't it? And then they identified the plant source.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a really subtle difference, but there's squalene with an E and squalane with an A. So you'll see on the bottle, you've got olive squalane with an A. And that's the difference. So squalene with an E used to come from shark liver, and squalane is coming from the plant source, which is olives, and it's, as you say, Liz, it's very softening on the skin. It provides this gentle glide. But you've also got in here marula, which is good at helping to hydrate the skin, lock in that moisture. Grapeseed, again, that's going to actually help to effectively whisk away any excess oil. And then we've used a plant-based emulsifier, which gives it that ability to transform into a cleansing milk, so that again you're getting a deep cleanse but without the stripped feeling.
And it lasts a long time. I mean, it's highly concentrated. You just need a little tiny bit in the palm of your hand. You can spread it all over your face and neck. So
I think that's the thing, that with the Full by Sarah London collection, a little goes a really long way. So because none of the formulas have been diluted with any added water, there's no fillers, there's no fragrance, there's nothing to mask those plant oils, you're investing in every single drop, and every ingredient is there on purpose.
Yeah, I like that. They're on purpose. Tell us about the next stage, because presumably this is something I love, the Reviver Hydrating Mist.
Yes.
Would you use this as like a skin tonic?
Shall we do a spritz together, Liz?
Go on then. Oh, so nice. So cooling, honestly. If you're having a slightly tropical moment, then this is just such a great thing. I could imagine actually that if your skin is feeling quite troubled, this would be really just a nice way just to calm everything down a little bit. Is this something that your sister found helpful during her treatment?
Yes, something like this is also a really important hydration step. So as much as you want to use your cleansing oils, your facial oils to replenish the lipid content in the skin, so the healthy fats, you need the hydration too, because of course our bodies are made up of almost 70% water, so we need lots and lots of moisture, we need water in the skin. But this is a clever mist, and it's actually a prebiotic formula.
Oh, I like that.
Prebiotic, meaning that
Prebiotic. So, I mean, we were talking about the microbiome of the skin just the other week, actually, how important that is.
It is, and it's. I mean, I'm fascinated by skin and skin health, and it's a really exciting area now of research. We're learning more about the skin microbiome and how to care for it and what it's actually doing. But this formula is working to ensure that the microbiome, the flora on the skin, is a balanced, healthy flora, which means that it's better at doing the things that our skin needs to do, whether that's defending from an immunity point of view, or it's defending against bad bacteria, pollution, or even just being able to synthesize vitamin D. You need that flora to be healthy, and when it's not, it will show itself as perhaps an inflammatory skin condition like eczema or acne. So just a spritz of this after cleansing.
After cleansing. So this is called Reviver Hydrating Mist, for those who are asking.
Yes.
Love it.
And it's scent free as well, so great for sensitive skin. Just as you see, it veils onto the skin very delicately, which then means that you've hydrated the skin sufficiently before you apply your facial oil as the next step. And I will just mention here that again, there's no added water. So what you're enjoying on the skin are natural fruit waters, and then a really fantastic ingredient called the resurrection plant, also known as the desert rose.
Yes, the resurrection plant. I'm hearing a little bit about this. Where does the resurrection plant come from?
Oh, it's so clever. It's so it's typically quite an exotic botanical in that it will grow in quite extreme drought conditions. So it sort of curls up as a plant when there's no moisture around, but as soon as it's exposed to moisture, it unfurls into the most amazing green plant. And so the analogy for our skin is that if our skin is feeling dry, dull, a little bit thirsty, it's going to really drink up all that moisture. It's going to be able to retain that moisture, but it's also binding moisture to the skin. So it has this dual action benefit, which is incredibly important for that cell moisture.
Yeah. So this is your second step then. This would be after after your cleanser. And then you talked about the facial oil.
Yes.
And this is a very simple little bottle, but it's got magical ingredients. Hero facial oil. What have you packed in here?
Well, this was the very first formula I developed for my sister Lauren's post-cancer skin. And it is today one of our best sellers. And it's gained a bit of a cult following in that it's won best facial oil every year since its launch. We've had over 500 five-star reviews, and it's a much loved formula. And I think really at the heart of it is not only its
light.
It's gentleness on the skin.
So light.
It feels so luxurious on the skin, and you can see, as you've shown, Liz, it just permeates the skin so delicately. It won't leave your skin feeling sticky. It doesn't leave your skin with any residue. And I think, again, what's made it a little superstar is that it's universally loved by different skin types. So even skin type that could be more combination or a little oily at times, this product will actually help to balance that excess oil in the skin. But on the other hand, if you've got very dry skin or very sensitive skin, I mean, perhaps going through the menopause, your skin can feel a little dry or itchy at times.
Yes.
Again, this is such a soothing and replenishing blend. And more than anything, it's replenishing your skin with those healthy fats, all the omegas, the minerals, the vitamins that help with things like cell turnover, cell regeneration, and whilst we've got that collagen, helping it to produce.
So what have you used in there? What are your key oils?
So again, full ingredient list on the front label, and they're all organic plant oils, so of a very high quality organic sweet almond, apricot, pumpkin seed, which is actually scientifically known to help with collagen production.
Interesting.
But also evening primrose. Now the composition of
evening primrose,
which is just helping to skin retain moisture. So it's a very all-rounded formula, and again, I think that's why it's just become such a...
And vitamin E and argan, one of my favourites. Argan oil from Morocco. I mean, one of the richest natural sources of vitamin E.
Yes.
And just incredibly nourishing, and used by the Berber tribeswomen for centuries, even though they live in this incredibly arid environment. Sub-Saharan Africa, and they just have a remarkable skin thanks to the argan oil. I'm just being asked here whether you can use this before face yoga. I would imagine it would be excellent before any sort of exercise or massage.
Absolutely. Do you know, I love to enjoy facial massage with our Hero facial oil.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Either first thing in the morning or last thing at night. And one of my sort of much loved techniques that I teach on our by Sarah London Instagram channel is a super quick one. Actually, you could do this in the middle of the day. So you take the peace sign.
Yeah.
So we'll do the peace sign. So pop your fingertips on your chin like this, and then you're going to scissor towards your ears. So you're just working up, sort of hugging like this. And then, doesn't that feel lovely?
Does feel very good.
And you're just lifting everything up because we want to defy gravity.
Oh yes, we want it to be lifted up.
And then just doing that a few times on each side, and then with the palm of your hand just working into the neck and just working deeply at those neck muscles.
Oh yeah, here.
Oh, it just relieves so much tension. And then, you can spend it as little or as long as you like. You can work into the forehead. But I think it's important as well that when we're enjoying our skincare, we are carving out that time for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we are taking that time to connect with the skin and to perhaps learn to touch the skin, feel where there's areas of congestion or tension. And
tension. I get tension around here because I'm a night grinder. I have to watch my jaw.
Oh, that one would be great then, a little bit of that each night.
Bit of extra. So we're being asked here about blemishes. Would this range be good for blemish-prone skin? Obviously, I can imagine that the oils are going to be very nourishing and replenishing and plumping for drier skin. What about blemish-prone?
Yes, and yes.
Yes and yes, okay.
So I think, again, with blemish-prone skin, if you're on the sensitive side and perhaps you've tried products like a salicylic acid or a lactic acid, so an active ingredient that has an exfoliating property to it. So what it's doing is it's helping to get rid of the excess oil that can contribute to spots. That type of ingredient can actually be very irritating for a sensitive skin.
Right.
So what we've done at By Sarah London is formulated a blemish recovery oil, which is this one here.
Oh, there you go. So that's perfect for you, Anne. I hope you're watching. Blemish recovery oil.
Yeah, so that's that one there. So you can use this in the same way as your facial oil, but it's just giving you that alternative to some of the more, I say, almost more aggressive formulas that are really, that could aggravate the skin after use. So you're going to enjoy this in the same way as your facial oil. You're going to massage it onto damp skin, ideally after you've spritzed with the reviver.
Spritz with the reviver, and then you massage your oil on top.
And you've got in here, so we formulated again with beautiful plant oils. You've got organic jojoba, which is very balancing. You've got papaya fruit extract, papaya seed, which has the papaya is almost mimicking something like a salicylic acid because of its exfoliating and antimicrobial properties. And then we've actually sourced upcycled hemp seed. So this is hemp seed that's grown in the UK. But typically, any seeds that don't sort of make the cut, they're sent to landfill. So we intervene, we stop them going to landfill, and we repurpose them into the plant oil that we use in our skincare.
Brilliant.
And we've actually run some studies, and we know that our upcycled hemp seed versus standard hemp seed contains 52% more antioxidants. So it's better for your skin and the planet. So it's ticking 2 boxes.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's the great thing about sort of young entrepreneurial spirit, is that you can do these things and end up, being good for the skin, good for the environment, good for customers. Just, it's a win-win, isn't it, all around? And how's your sister doing now, I must ask? She's a partner in your business.
She is. She's my co-founder. So she's doing very well.
Good.
And her skin has fully recovered. So she now uses only by Sarah London, and she is our in-house guinea pig. But, going back to that time when she was going through cancer treatment, and her skin would just sort of shed like a snake. It was just in such a sore state for such a long time.
And the discomfort from that as well, leave aside the aesthetics for a moment, but the sheer discomfort and trauma that you feel, you're bad enough anyway, you've gone through such a traumatic experience, and then to have really uncomfortable skin is just...
It's the emotional impact. And, for Lauren, she had already lost all her hair, she had lost all her eyelashes, her whole being had transformed. And as a sister, to see that was, was hard as well. But as her older sister, wanting to do everything I possibly can to help, and working in the industry gave me that insight and that ability to help her with her skin. But we know, because we've experienced that journey firsthand, that the emotional impact it has is huge. And, at times you feel that you want to cover up your skin because you don't want people to see how it looks. Or, you've got so frustrated and fed up with it, having tried lots of different things and nothing's worked. And it starts to get you down, and it affects your confidence. And, that's something I think we truly understand, like no other skincare brand in the sensitive skin space does. And I think that, that for that reason, a lot of our customers really resonate with our brand because they know firsthand the journey that we've been on.
And it can be so demoralizing too when you do decide to buy something that is quite expensive, and the first time you put it on your skin, it stings, or there is a real irritation, and you just think, oh.
And something we do actually, so if for anyone that's interested in a hero facial oil in particular, we do a money back guarantee. So if for whatever reason you haven't seen the results, which hasn't happened yet, but if for
your reviews sound amazing for it. They really do.
But we're always here, and we really invite conversation with our customers. So whether anyone that's listening today is going through the menopause, or perhaps they've been on an illness journey and they're coming out the other side and they're looking for perhaps even just an initial conversation, that's what we're here to offer, and that's something that we can provide at if you come to us at hello@bysaralondon.com, or even through Instagram. But we understand how important it is to be heard and to be able to have those conversations before investing in your skincare.
Yeah, I have to say, I really wish that people on Facebook and YouTube could see you, because your skin is glowing. Oh my goodness, you don't even have to talk about the products. I think you just have to sit there and beam, because you're going to just have beautifully lit from the inside. Being asked here on Facebook, is there a barrier balm to help protect from pollen, etc.?
I would turn to the lip and hand balm. This is going to be this is your barrier balm, really. And depending on where, so it is of course hay fever season, so if you're getting a bit of soreness around the nose, around the lips, or if you're an eczema sufferer and you're getting any eczema flare-ups as a consequence of the hay fever, just pop this onto the area that feels a bit sore, and it really will help to soften and nourish. And this is a real family product as well. I know we've got customers that are mums and they use this on their little ones. They've got one balm in the car, on their bedside table.
Nice.
So really handy pot to have.
Jenny is saying, I suffer with psoriasis, so I think I'll give this a go. And again, psoriasis is one of those awful conditions that can flare up, and, you know, stress-related and all sorts of other triggers. Yeah. And again, quite difficult with skincare to get it right. You know, obviously this will potentially really help, but so many things are going to aggravate it, aren't they? If they've got fragrance and colourings and synthetic preservatives, all that sort of thing.
Yeah, anything like psoriasis, look at those ingredient lists.
Yeah.
Try to steer clear of fragrance, as you say, Liz, is a big one. Yeah. Even essential oils.
Even essential oils, I can't stress it enough. You know, just because they're natural doesn't mean to say that they're good and safe on sensitive skin.
That's right. And you know, to avoid sort of confusion, I always say interrogate that ingredient list. That was so important to me in the early days when I began formulating skincare, and it's why we put a full ingredient list on the front label.
On the front? I've never seen that before. Ingredient lists are usually sort of hidden on the back, but you're right there, you know, loud and proud. That's what's in it. Great.
Yes. Yeah, so it, you know, no need to feel overwhelmed or confused. You know, we're here to help. But with psoriasis, being mindful of those key triggers like fragrance, like essential oils, and then looking for hydration as well. Really important to keep that skin well hydrated. But certainly something like our Balancer Cleanser, our Reviver Hydrating, our Hero Facial Oils, that 3-step is a really accessible everyday routine that will help.
Easy, that's the other thing. Easy, accessible. Keen is saying, my sister brought me the facial oil. It's truly beautiful on my perimenopausal skin. So I guess anybody who's going through a breakout or, you know, hormonal changes will definitely impact the skin, won't they?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I always say our skin is actually a bit like a mirror. So whatever's going on in the inside is going to show up on the outside. Yeah. And that was the case for Lauren, my sister, going through all that treatment. Her skin was responding to what was going on inside her body. Yeah. And certainly hormones play a big part in that. So if we're going through the menopause as an example, and we're seeing a drop in estrogen levels, which means we're seeing a drop in our collagen production, you know, the skin will start to perhaps look a little drier, or it will become a little more sensitive, or it might experience more redness. And that's where we need to turn to really nourishing products, nourishing formulas that are going to replenish that moisture that we're losing, replenish those lipids in the skin. And then even for skin that is perhaps a little younger, and, you know, we're experiencing our periods every month, and at that time, sometimes we might experience more spots, as an example. Sure. So, you know, typically we might get spots along the chin, into the jaw, you know, very common areas where those patches will tend to show up every month. But it's the body's way of just saying, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing every month. I'm doing what I need to. I'm sorry that I'm producing excess oil, and I'm going to show you some spots to contend with. But there are ways to keep the skin in balance, and again, it's just turning to formulas that are going to help do that. And if blemishes and, you know, hormonal acne does crop up from time to time, they're reaching for something like the Ally, which is a little bit more targeted, will help with that persistence of any acne or blemishes.
And then for the body, you've got really lovely, very simple things like the body oil. So presumably that would have helped your sister, because you mentioned that her skin was just in such a terrible state, literally from top to toe, because she'd had this full body chemo treatment, stem cells, all of that, very aggressive medication.
Yes, and you know, again, the option was, well, here's a steroid cream, or here's something like a Vaseline.
And nothing in between.
Nothing in between. And sometimes the trouble with lotions, I've often found, is they can be quite heavy or quite tacky on the skin. So if you're in a hurry in the morning and you want to nourish your skin after your shower or after your bath, but you've got to get your clothing on, you don't want to be hanging around waiting for that lotion or cream to sink into the skin. You want to have something that sinks in quickly, and then you can get on with your day. And so the body oil was really formulated with lots of those reasons in mind, but ultimately to work in the same way as the skincare products on the face, in that it's going to actually replenish that lipid content in the skin, which
lovely
means
oil.
your skin. Thank you. Yes, it's luxurious.
Lovely
it's
oil.
silky.
So yeah, it's
and
not
it
sticky
sinks
at
in
all.
quickly.
It's just
No.
looks like a really expensive kind of body cream.
Yes. And it makes your skin look glowing, and it's going to help with suppleness and elasticity. So this is actually a great one for this time of year, where we're going to be wearing skirts and summer dresses and keeping our legs looking lovely and nourished and healthy. So turning to a body oil, and again, a little goes a long way. So this will last you far, far longer than a lotion or a cream, because there's no added water in here. There's nothing to dilute the plant oils.
Clever.
So very, very nourishing head to toe product.
Really clever. And I think, just before we go, talking about ingredients is so important, because I look at some of the formulations now. I was in the airport not that long ago, and I had a bit of time to kill, so I was just looking at all the different brands and looking at all their new whizzy things that they were promoting. And when you turn them over and you look at the label of ingredients, it's endless. The list goes on and on and on and on, and you think, actually, you don't need all of these things. A, you don't need them, but B, for every ingredient that you put in, there's a risk of sensitivity. So if you've got 30, 40 ingredients, you've got 30, 40 risks. And some obviously a lot more sensitizing than others, like all the fragrances, the essential oils, and the stabilizers, and all the other sort of bits that would be unnecessary, perhaps in your range. Yes. When you can strip it back to the really good quality, just those basics, produced in such a great way that you've talked about. I mean, it's no wonder that it's got deservedly such a huge fan base. Obviously, I can see lots of incredibly happy customers here who have just hopped on to say how much they love it.
It's very kind, and it is because you don't need 50 ingredients in a product. I mean, if they're all beautiful ingredients, that's fantastic. It's likely to be hugely expensive if that's the case.
I mean, that's
But I think also having a very curated approach to your skincare, and it's another reason why the different types of products, and that you're not overwhelming the skin with different formulas, that just by having a very, very streamlined approach is much healthier for the skin, but also it's healthier for the planet, because we really want to limit what's ending up in landfills. So we're using glass bottles, which are endlessly recyclable, our aluminium cap rather than single-use plastic pumps. That detail ensures that we're all doing our bit for our planet.
Well, Louise is saying here, these are the only products that don't make my now sensitive skin post-chemo react.
Fantastic.
Can we put a link to your website here? We can't link on Instagram, sadly. We can, and we have done on Facebook. But can you remind us your website again?
Yes, of course. So it's bysaralondon.com. I might be able to, if I try and type that on the screen. So it's bysaralondon.com, and our Instagram is @bysaralondon. But I'm the face behind the Instagram, so if you have any questions, it's me on DM. So
it's you. We can actually, I love that. That's one of the great things about having a founder-led brand, is that you can very often connect directly. And presumably people can ask you questions and can come and chat to you from the website.
I love that. So, yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, you are amazing. And I'm so thrilled to hear that your sister is still doing well. And that you're together, you're fab female founders together, just making an extraordinary range that is so impactful and helpful for so many others.
Yes,
really
it's been
wonderful.
Quite a journey.
Well, continued success with it, continued good luck, and I look forward to chatting again. I really wish you so well with it, and thank you very much for our Liz Loves discount. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Great pleasure. Sending you hearts. Do you want to click off, Sarah? Because otherwise, if I click off, I run the risk of everybody going down. Nice to see you. Bye-bye. Oh, my goodness. Bye. So interesting, isn't it? It's always just so lovely to connect with somebody who is creating something with such authenticity and passion and purpose, and is just so beneficial for everybody. It's really, so the discount is 20%. Yeah, on everything at By Sarah. So bysarahlondon.com. 20% off, excluding the bundles, because they're already discounted. So, yeah, whichever way you go, you get a discount. A couple of other things. I mentioned the Percy and Reed hair mask earlier, just being asked questions about that. Yes, that is 20% off everything at Percy and Reed if you're looking to stock up with some hair care for the summer, particularly before you go away, because they've got all those lovely travel sizes. Love the range. This is the one that I used last night. Wonder Overnight Recovery Mask. There we go. Yeah, I've got a little bit of hay fever. I didn't take my quercetin this morning. Yeah, I need to go and take it because it does really help. Really help. I haven't yet taken it. I've got some in my bathroom. Just to remind you before we go that we do have just a few of the subscription gifts for the Earle Wellbeing magazine. The Olverum. So there's a 200ml firming body moisturiser worth £40, 40, and if that wasn't enough, the body polish worth £18. So you've got £58 worth of amazing body products from Olverum, completely free for direct debit subscriptions of the Earle Wellbeing magazine. So what a steal. Please don't miss that. And if you want to give somebody a subscription, you can give them a gift subscription and you can have the gift sent to you. So you get your £58 worth of amazing body products free. Or, of course, if you have yet subscribed to the magazine, you can subscribe to it for yourself. So that's just about it for today. Lovely flowers. Thank you, Roseby Morton. The last of the summer's sweet peas in this. The first of the fragrant roses. And just to say that the Real Flower Company are celebrating the fact that they now deliver 7 days a week. Liz Loves gets you 10% off everything on their website. And they do have a fresh from the farm box, which I know is an absolute favourite with the Earle Wellbeing audience here, and that's £30. So I will be back with you live next Tuesday. We're going to have an ethical fashion focus. Haven't done fashion for a while, so I thought it would be a good one to do with another fab female founder. Alice Asquith is joining us, one of my favourite loungewear brands, if you want to go and check out Asquith London. Millie, I'm using quercetin from BioCare. I love BioCare. I love the whole range from BioCare. I'm pretty sure that we have a good discount still going with BioCare. Let me just check and see exactly what it is. Yeah, 15% off. Everything on BioCare. That's biocare.co.uk. And they have a very good quercetin combined with nettles, which is very good, which I'm going to go and now take. I should have taken it before my live, but I'm going to go and take it now. Anyway, lovely to see you all. You have your Asquith top on, do you? Yeah, Isabel, I'm going to be getting my Asquith out, I think, for next Tuesday. Southwick Takeaway says, loungewear, excellent. Yes, we shall all be in our loungewear. Yeah, do go and grab it, BioCare. Honestly, I've been telling everybody to get quercetin. If you're suffering with hay fever, there is no need to suffer. My son, who came over from Kenya recently, you might have seen in my pictures, because he surprised his sister for her 21st birthday party. So he came over from Kenya, where there is no pollen, pretty much, from where he is, landed straight back here, surrounded by all the pollen in the fields around me at the moment. I'm really started to suffer, and I gave him the quercetin from BioCare, and he recovered so fast. It was fantastic. So highly recommend that. Anyway, that is it from me. If you are watching in real time, don't forget that tomorrow there is a brand new episode of the Earle Wellbeing Show podcast that will go live. And also make sure you are on the list to get the free newsletter that goes out from my team and me every Friday afternoon at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You get your free weekly dose of Earle Wellbeing, all that lovely wellness wisdom and recipes and offers and ideas and links to really good things comes every Friday. Yeah, Abby, quercetin is much better than local honey. I would love, 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 love to be able to say that local honey works for hay fever, but alas, it doesn't. The studies show that it doesn't. So if you feel it does you good, then definitely carry on taking it. And it's good to have for lots of other reasons too. But if you actually want to get to grips with your hay fever, for me personally, I would say do try the quercetin. Anyway, have a lovely rest of the day. Oh, who's going glamping this weekend? Nikki, good luck with that. I hope you survive. I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great few days. It's for your husband, is it, Abby? Excellent. I hope it will work for him. Let me know how you get on. I shall see you next week. Thanks for being with me today. Take care. Bye-bye.